Okay, you guys know that I love watches, and you know that I love the color red. Now, back in June of 2020, I saw producer Michael Blakey talking about this new watch company called Aventi. And they were putting out these Chinese tourbillon movements in these ceramic coated cases. And one of the colors was red. They had it's called the Rosso Red A10 Titanium Collection. I think the retail on it was $2,000, but if you ordered it through Michael Blakey and his discount code, I think you got it for like $1,500. They had sort of a vetting process. You have to call, do a little concierge with them. They wouldn't allow you to just buy it right off their website. They would talk to you and decide whether or not you're worthy to buy their watch. This has been 14 months ago. And they keep telling me over and over that they've had all sorts of production issues with the movements, with the cases, with the this, with the that. The ceramic coating isn't sticking. The manufacturing process keeps failing. And they don't want to send out a watch that isn't up to par. You know, in a completely unrelated thing, I ordered a thing called the Sega Design. This was something I got off of it's like a GoFundMe or Kickstarter kind of thing. And this thing showed up. Here it is. This is a Chinese tourbillon movement. Very cool little watch. You know, I opted for the red band that came with it. Came in a metal case like Altoids, basically. And it's a little see-through titanium case. I showed it to one of my friends who's a watch guy, and he goes, "It's a Fugazi. It's a fake. It's a Chinese movement." And I said, "Yeah, but it's titanium." He goes, "Titanium. Yeah, how much was this watch?" It was a couple of $100. I think I paid $300 for it. And I asked the guys at Aventi, what's the difference between this $300 Chinese tourbillon and the one that you're sending me that's $1,500? And they went on and on to tell me how great their movement was, how much more superior it was to this. But at the end of the day, when I mention Aventi to somebody, they go, "Who? What? It's a what?" I go into watch stores all the time. There's actually a place called Tourbillon here in Las Vegas, over at the mall. I think it's at it's at the fashion show or the area. I forget what it's called, but it's called Tourbillon. And I mentioned the Aventi watches. No one there had ever heard of them. When I go to Richard Mille, they never heard of it. I go to Audemars Piguet, they never heard of it. Rolex, never heard of it. Go into all kinds of watch stores, and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to get this tourbillon watch. It's an Aventi." "A what? A who?" No one has heard of this watch. No one has seen this watch. I have not seen one in person. I don't know anyone who has one other than producer Michael Blakey. The only people who have these watches were given these watches. I think Paul Thorpe maybe has one. Love his channel. But, you know, nobody has one of these watches. You know why? Because I don't know if they've delivered any. So I'm making this video to reach out to my friends in the watch community. Did you order a Aventi watch? Did you get it? What's it like? What's it look like? I've seen a couple of videos out there, but they were all like sponsored videos from somebody who was lent the watch. They were, you know, they let them borrow it, or maybe they were given the watch. I don't know anybody in my watch community of friends that has the watch, who's ever received one. 14 months now, they've given me excuse after excuse. I saw that they came out with an amazing looking ruby red sapphire case. And of course, I was interested. And I emailed them about it, and they told me, "Well, we have to interview you to see if you're worthy of buying it. It's for family members only." Family member? 14 months I've been waiting for my watch that you've had my money, and you've given me excuses. And you're telling me you're not sure if I'm worthy? They want $14,000 for the watch? I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'm going to spend Rolex money for a Chinese watch. I mean, I don't care what you wrap it in. You understand? Because at the end of the day, it's a Chinese watch, and that's what it is. And it's never, ever going to have the respect of a Swiss movement. It's just not going to, because Rolex people are snobs. They are. I'm in the watch community, I'm in the pen community, and I'm in the car community. But in the watch community are snobs. So I'm asking, will the watch community accept Chinese movements? Is that where we are now? I mean, are we ready to with respect and with the exception of a Casio G-Shock. Okay, are we ready to take these replica Chinese tourbillon movements, wrap them in expensive cases, and give them the respect of a Rolex, an AP, an Omega, even a G-Shock? So I want to hear from you. Did you buy and receive an Aventi watch, or did you buy one and not receive it? I want to hear from you in the comments. I want to know what you think about these Chinese movements. Do you think they are worthy of investment? Are they going to have any resale whatsoever? Are people going to be interested in these? Or is this just a money grab onto for the people who just don't know anything about watches, that don't invest in watches, in the hopes that, I mean, because this thing is cool looking. Don't get me wrong. This thing is an amazing looking skeleton titanium wind up watch. But at the end of the day, I can go to the mall and buy things that don't look too different than this for like 150 bucks. You can get an Invicta, a Dillard's at the mall. It doesn't cost a lot of money if you don't care about the name, and no one has ever heard of a Sega Design, and nobody knows what this is. And you tell them, well, it's a Chinese tourbillon, and they just go, pfft. So watches are not only there to tell time and for their aesthetic, they are investments. And for those of us that invest into the Rolex watches and the other brands, the APs, and this, we do it so that we watch our investment grow. I mean, remember that red coral Oyster Perpetual I got last year? I bought that thing from an AD for $6,000, and now it's worth like 10, right? But this thing, I paid 300 bucks for it. I don't think I get 100 bucks for it right now. So if I go spend $14,000 on a red ruby Aventi Chinese tourbillon ruby sapphire watch, what am I really going to sell it for if I decide to sell it? Is it going to go up in value when that company's out of business? Because I guarantee you, these people are going to be out of business. And if you send your money to them now and wait for another 14 months for a watch, I don't know if you're going to get it. I don't have any faith in the Aventi watch company, zero faith in them whatsoever. They've sent me all sorts of emails telling me about, how they're doing everything they can, but nothing works. Somebody's at the door. All right, I guess I'll catch you guys later. Put in the comments down below and let me know what you think of the Aventi watch company. Catch you guys later. Bye.